stop saying that you're not a racist. Okay? Stop saying it. And sorry, the English teacher in me. Also, don't say, I'm not prejudiced. People say that all the time. But prejudiced is the adjective form of that. When you say, I'm not prejudiced, it's like saying, I'm not sadness right now. Yeah, it doesn't make sense grammatically. But, don't say I'm not prejudiced. Don't say I'm not racist. Now, I know you might be like, but I'm not. I'm not a racist. How can I let people know that I'm not a racist? This is how you do it. I was a creative writing major in college, and one of the things that was constantly drummed into our heads, was show, don't tell. Okay? Like, don't say that this character is complicated. Show by their actions that they are complicated. Don't say that this particular hero is strong. Show him or her demonstrating that strength. Show, don't tell. And that's what you need to do. If you really think you're not a racist, show you're not a racist. Let your actions, let your words, without saying I'm not a racist, show that. Because here's the thing, it's not this 100%, 0% option where you're 100% a racist, you're ready to go and join the Klan, or you are completely blameless of anything racist. So if you're wondering, like, okay, am I right now saying that I have probably said some things that are racist in my life? Have I ever been accused of racism? Do I perhaps have some deeply ingrained racist attitudes? Yes, to all of those things. Yes, I've been accused of racism. I think maybe in a couple of those instances, the person probably had a point. One of them might have been kind of more of a misunderstanding. I just needed to be a little more sensitive to it. It's quite possible you can get accused of racism and it's genuinely unfounded. But again, instead of continuously protesting and saying that you're not racist, show that you're not. Because if you are constantly having to say that you're not a racist, you've got a problem. It's like if you're constantly having to say, oh, I don't have a problem with alcohol. If you feel the need to constantly bring that up, you probably have a problem because it keeps coming up again and again. Also, the problem with this phrase, I'm not a racist, is, and this is really what I'm noticing right now in the conversations, is people are using it as sort of a get out of jail free card. So they don't have to reflect on anything they say, anything that they do, any attitudes that they have, because they just say, well, I'm not a racist, so therefore I couldn't have said anything racist. Done and done. Okay, I can now wipe my hands of this. It doesn't work like that. You don't get to just make the decision that you're not a racist. And then, I mean, what lazy thinking is that? To just say it and not go any further and not seriously, examine yourself and the things that you say. And I realize I'm kind of boiling this down to a soundbite, but, perhaps this will have some use for some people. But you really need to be more concerned about whether you are racist. And notice I didn't even say a racist, because I imagine like a lot of you, when I think of a racist, I am thinking of somebody who is unapologetically so, member of the Klan, and whatever. I might not even be using the term correctly, but that's what I think of, and I imagine that's what a lot of you think of. But I'm saying you might be racist, as in you have some racist attitudes. You should be more concerned about that than you should be concerned about whether somebody says that you're being racist or you are a racist. Because if you really aren't racist, that is your concern, is not being racist. You don't want to be racist, and you'll listen to people. And again, sometimes you might get an accusation, and it's unfounded and it's unfair, or perhaps it was a misunderstanding. But you know what? That's not nearly as bad as suffering from actual racism. So let's try and keep things a little bit in perspective. Let's try and listen to people. I understand the need to be defensive. I can be quite defensive myself. Trust me, if there's something in this video that, I just mindlessly let slip and somebody calls me out and says, hey, that thing that you said there was a little bit racist, my initial reaction will be like, what? How dare you? But hopefully I can then stop and think about it and use my judgment and pay attention to what other people are saying and either decide, okay, I've got something to learn from, or okay, that's just a misunderstanding, or okay, that person was just looking to attack me. But at the very least, I don't get to just say I'm not a racist and then it's done. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Will there be more? I don't know.